Okay.
Good morning. Today we have Ashlynn with us, and we're so excited because Ashlynn is fairly a new loan officer. How long have you been in the industry?
I've been in the industry for about 4 or 5 years, but I was first an LPP, LOA, and then in 2017 is when I started originating 100%.
So she has only been originating just a few years. But the thing that we're most excited about is that last year, Ashlynn actually increased her business pretty considerably. So how much have you done last year compared to this year?
So let's see, from 2018 to 2019, I increased my production by 80%. And so it was a huge year for me in 2019. And just to go into a little more detail, it was all because of Mortgage Coach and using that for every single client that I worked with.
So that's pretty exciting, but there's so much more to your story as far as what happened during that year. What else was going on during that year?
So last year was crazy. We were in the process of building a home. So we also have 4 kids. And I always tell people, Mortgage Coach for me was something that without it, I don't think that I could have gone through the chaos of building a house. It ended up flooding about 2 weeks before we were supposed to move in. So that was insane. We had to, basically we were selling our house, closed on that, had to move into a friend's house, and all the while it was during the summer months of just craziness. But yeah, I always tell people anything that happened this last year, that was my reason, and that was something I was not going to let stop me from getting to where I wanted to be. So.
Absolutely. And you know what the funny thing is? She's minimalizing it. Yeah, we just moved into a friend's house. No, they moved into a 1-bedroom house, 4 kids, and these kids are not older kids. How old are your kids?
No, the oldest is 10, and then our youngest is 2. And you're right. I mean, we had no cell phone service, no internet at this house. It was a guest house that was kind of out in the country, so there were many days where it was 105 degrees outside, and I'm doing a total cost analysis, like standing just in the middle of the heat in Texas, just running numbers for people. And again, any phone calls I made or any total cost analysis I was setting up, everything was outside if I wasn't at my office.
And it was outside because she had to walk outside to find the internet from the house that she was living in, that guest house.
Yes,
so
what little hot spot I could have.
And it literally was a hot spot in the middle of summer.
Yes.
So that is such an exciting, fun story that you're going to be able to tell for years down the line. But what do you think it is with your clients that resonates with that Mortgage Coach analysis that maybe has moved that, move the ticket for you?
So I think a lot of people, when, if they're shopping lenders and they're talking to multiple loan officers, everybody is given the same thing, and that's, a pre-application worksheet or a loan estimate or something like that, that just shows them basically one option. And I knew that my thing has always been about educating clients, and Mortgage Coach for me was the way I was able to utilize that, is to show them different options, compare them with each other, show them how they can save money, look at short-term versus long-term savings, everything that doesn't do. There's so many people that come in thinking that they know what they want, they know what product they want, I have to put 20% down so I don't have PMI, all these things that, I'm able to educate them and show them. And what I love too is they don't have to go back and find an email or print out estimate. It's a lot of them I just save it to their home screen and have it like an where they can click on it and it's always available, even if they're out looking at houses. So there's not a lot of lenders when you're comparing with like the banks specifically that are doing something like this. So it really sets us apart.
Yeah. Now, just a quick question on, are you using video when you use Mortgage Coach?
I am not yet this year.
Okay.
So it's to be on camera more.
So this is her first interview too, which is really exciting. And the second question is, do you use the Mortgage Coach Live?
every time, so I don't just send the total cost analysis to people. Every time I'm like, I'm going to send it to you, and then we're going to go over it. And so we look at it live together. So I'm clicking through it, I'm highlighting, they're looking at it too. And then that way too, if I change any numbers or anything later on, they already know how to use it. So I'm showing them live where to click and what to do. So I think that just sending it is not enough. I mean, every single person, we do a live interview basically where I'm clicking through and showing them.
Very cool. So what I want to do is I actually want to have Ashlynn bring up her screen because she's going to walk through how she builds out a mortgage coach presentation. So you want to go ahead and share that screen for us?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you want to go ahead and walk us through and talk us through as you build the mortgage coach presentation.
Okay. Well, one of the ones I do, I say are just more people that for my clients is comparing, you know, conventional versus FHA or a single paid PMI versus a monthly. So first we go to our client tab here and we'll just type in, you know, test client here. So we don't have anybody specific. And then there's a lot of tabs here, but I usually jump down if I know already which options I want to compare. I'll start with, you know, the first product here. And so I can tell them and label it, you know, conventional. I can do single paid PMI. And then when I come down here, I can product from template or copy, but this is one if we're just kind of more showing people. I can do my single here. So I'm going to do single paid here. And then say we're doing a purchase price of $500,000, you know, 5% down. We're just plug in our interest rate. You see that all the asterisks are showing you, you know, what we have to have there. So if we're doing a 30-year fixed rate there. And then we'll click down here to closing costs. You also can, and I didn't want to take up too much time, but you can also get pricing here, and we also do construction loans. So I love this tab right here. Closing cost, right here, I have my templates set up here. So when I click on this, I can do, you know, like save the $500,000. This is where I can automatically know here's all the fees for, you know, our lender fees and title fees, and everything's already here. And then I can hit apply to loan, and you can adjust, of course, any of these fees, especially when we get title work back. And I'll hit apply to loan. And then over here, if we have points or any prepaid interest, I always use 15 days. Here's where we can add in the earnest money, a single paid premium. So we'll just say, you know, say there's a 1.5%. And then we can go down here to monthly costs. I'll just throw in numbers here. We're in Texas, so we're going to do, say, 2.5%. We've got our insurance, our taxes. Here's our mortgage insurance. So if we're doing the single paid, I don't do anything monthly there because we already covered it on our closing cost page for the single paid. And then if we're going to escrow, I'll click my collect 12 months. And then we'll do 3 months of insurance and 3 months of taxes. And that's it for as far as just our conventional single paid option. So very easy and very quick. And then I can go over here and add another product. So now we want to compare it with, say, monthly PMI. Since I know my closing costs are going to be the same, I'll come here and I'll just copy from my single pay that we just went over. And so now I can name this one, you know, conventional monthly PMI. And then I just make sure to go back and change this to no upfront premium. And then it'll take out my single paid down here. I know the closing costs are going to be the same. And then going over here to monthly, whenever I pull in the mortgage insurance premium there, like I haven't actually pulled a quote, so let's just say it's 0.7 monthly. So I have my, you know, 12 months here, 3 months and 3 months for escrow. And then I usually keep this standard. I do like a 60-month analysis, which is, you know, the 5-year savings and then a 15-year comparison. So I can click on here, and normally if I filled in any current information, like if we're renting, I could also do a rent as an option too. Compare the two products. I'll right there and throw in our quote date. This is where I can generate the share. And then once I hit preview, now we have our single paid here in the first column and then our monthly. And so I can show them, you know, single paid, you're bringing, you know, 41,000 to closing versus conventional bringing 34,000. But what I like to show them over here is look how in 5 years going paid, which is at 9,500, and then also showing them the monthly payment difference. So their payment's gonna be $277 lower a month. I'm jumping all over the place. $277 less a month. And what I love talking about when we were talking about going live is I will sit there and show them, you click on more info, we walk through everything so they can actually, I can click on this and show them, here's your monthly PMI versus, you know, not having anything for the single paid. We'll look at, you know, their P&I is the same, their taxes, their insurance. So really the only difference is going to be that monthly. Then we'll click on the closing cost tab and go over, here's the upfront that you're basically paying to go with the single paid. I know sometimes it can be confusing seeing APR versus non-APR. We'll always go down here to fee detail, and then I can click on this again live with them looking at it with me and start clicking on all the fees and going over each one, you know, line item there.
So that is great. And just so you guys know, we did not practice this beforehand. So I'm ready to turn over my job to her because she explained so much in there for you as she went through on why she's doing things and how Mortgage Coach works as far as pulling information over and what it pulls over and everything. So thank you for a very complete job on that, Ashlynn. So on here,
you're welcome. I didn't have to tell we needed to be.
So on here, and also great little score down there, 4.7 or 97. So that looks great too on your social survey score. So that is fabulous.
Thank you.
So on here, when you explain it to a client, do you feel that your clients have more questions because there's more information, or do you feel that it answers their questions more completely so they have less questions coming back to you?
Definitely questions, because if I felt like they had more, I probably would not use this as much as I do. But as soon as we go over this and starting over it live, I always get the same response, and I feel so much better about everything. I feel like I know what's going on, and I feel like there's nothing hidden. There's no hidden cost. There's no hidden agenda here. I mean, everything is right here for them. I mean, the interest rate, the APR. I mean, when you give somebody so much access into everything, you're not just sending them I go back to the fee worksheet. You're not just sending them like, here's this little piece of paper, but to where this is an interactive thing where they can click around. There's so much more trust built because of Mortgage Coach. So, yeah, I definitely think that this is something where they have less questions.
Yep. So last question I do have is, because you just learned it last year, this is pretty fresh for you. How long did it take you to learn, and how did you learn it?
So I would say that to feel confident, it probably took me a couple months just to feel like I could do it so quickly and like prepare, 3 or 4 a day. I would say probably a few months. There were a lot of times where if you don't have the confidence yet, say it is a new loan officer using this, I would do it even if I never even shared it with the client. I would do it just so I could myself and match the numbers with Encompass to make sure that I had enough confidence, because when you share this, if you're not also looking at your disclosures that are actually going out to them, I think that was kind of my biggest concern. But I think a lot of it is if you build those templates, your closing cost templates ahead of time, and it's going to match your fees, your lender fees or your title fees, then that would be another suggestion, just to have a little more confidence with using it. But I used it quite a bit before actually sharing it with clients, just until I felt, you know, confident, because it is a quote that you're sending them. You've got your rate, your APR, your closing costs. So I would advise anybody just, you know, really get to know it and use it on every single client, even if it's somebody that you're not sharing it with.
So very cool. Thank you for your time. I do appreciate it. And I am so excited to start this new series. If you are a loan officer that has been in the industry less than 5 years, and you have something that you're doing in Mortgage Coach and it's totally changed your business, feel free to email me, tina@mortgagecoach.com. We can get on the phone, we can do a little chat, and decide if having an interview with you is a great thing. Again, thank you so much, Ashlynn, for your time. We appreciate it, especially right now with the crazy markets, and you go out and do those refis.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.